The following takes place between 9 p.m. and 12 a.m., October 13th, 2020. Events occur in real time and may disturb some viewers. I just heard something over here. Is anyone down here? Hold on.
I think we should leave now.
Someone in here. Whoa! And here we are at the old lighthouse. About to go on a ghost tour, and honestly, this parking lot is really adding to the theming. Oh my god. Sweet. And in addition, for like $5 extra, we can get this EMF reader thing, so this should be fun. Why not? Right? Live a little.
$5.
Oh, I'm picking up activity. Oh man. Oh dude, there's like totally a ghost here. It's like, I must be powering Darren's phone.
I knew there was something weird about how these work.
I thought these were suspicious.
Maybe it has to be getting data. Hold on.
Feed it some data there and run it down through the chute.
Okay.
There,
Yep.
There we go.
Yep, it's totally the signal. Or the ghost inside.
No, it's a ghost in the signal.
It's a ghost in the shell.
It's a haunted signal.
Yeah, because currently it's sending data.
Oh my god.
Alright, come on in, feel free to jump on the grass, don't worry, you won't hurt it. It'll be fine. Alright, well, welcome to our Dark of the Moon ghost tour. So something that you all might notice right off the bat is that you all have glow sticks. You have green glow sticks. That means you are supposed to be here. Those are your tickets this evening. If you happen to see anyone without a glow stick this evening, that means they are not supposed to be here.
That means they're a
So
ghost.
we have had some experiences with like trespassing and stuff like that. So before you tackle the people yourselves, come find one of us with a blue glow stick and we will take care of it. But if they are perhaps not wearing a glow stick and they're wearing like Victorian era clothing, take a picture first and then come find us. But overall, if you have any trouble tonight, you will find someone with a blue glow stick. The blue glow sticks means we work here. So my name is Cynthia. I will be one of your guides tonight. We will also have Ozzy as your other guide. We will have Sammy on top of the lighthouse. Jack will be around as well as Meg. So those are all of your guides, and we are wearing blue glow sticks. So some quick things about the glow sticks and us as guides. We consider our entire property. So I get y'all, and you all go head over towards the house with Ozzy and Jack. And you all are stuck with me, but at least I get to see your group. Alright.
Not pretty big tour.
Yeah, no, there were, like when I looked earlier, there was only like 3 more spots left.
I thought they would divide these into even smaller groups from this.
Yeah. I feel like I'm going into Halloween
They're
Horror
really
Nights.
setting all these screens.
Come on in, everybody. There's more than enough room. Welcome. My name is Ozzy. I'm going to be your tour guide for this portion of the tour. Before we get started, I do want to go over one quick thing with you all. Cynthia mentioned, while she was introducing you all to the tour, there are a few things we'll set out for your EMF readers. We have one of them in this very room with us. I want to introduce everybody to the very haunted, very spooky electrical closet that I am standing right in front of. Now, the reason why that sets off your EMF readers is because that is a major source of electricity. That is actually the main breaker box for the entire keeper's house. So if you go near that with your EMF readers, you might get a reading that is not where we hide the ghosts during the day, or even when we start the ghost tour. That is just the electrical panel. Now, really, in this room, I recommend to my group not really coming into this room, because once upon a time, the table to my right had magnets that had been reported to set off your EMF readers. Also, once upon a time, there were tablets in that table to my left, which could set off your EMF readers. So I just generally recommend staying out of this room unless you're going down the swirling vortex of terror behind me, or if you're coming up from the basement and wanting to explore the other side of the keeper's house. So we do get some activity here on the main floor of the keeper's house, especially once we restylize the north side of the keeper's house to make it look like the first lighthouse keeper. His name was Major William Harn. He was the first one to live in the keeper's house. We had it set up about how Major William Harn had it when him and his family lived here with us. Now, the activity that we get over on the north side is there's a rocking chair over in the corner, and every once in a while, as guests are walking through, even though there's nobody sitting in the chair, we have it roped off, they'll see a rocking motion coming from the chair. There is also a very distinct coughing sound that comes from upstairs once in a while. Major William Harn was the first one to live in the house. He was also the first one to pass away in the house. He passed away upstairs from tuberculosis. So many of our guests will run upstairs as soon as they hear the cough, and there'll be nobody up there. We do get a lot of activity down in the basement as well. That is actually where we get some of our strangest activity. There's been orbs that have been filmed. A woman was filming one of the walls, and she saw orbs stationary, flowing in and out of her frame. And there's also what we call a creepy corner down there in the basement. Now, we call it creepy corner because you can fit a full-size adult back there, and if you're not expecting it and just see a random adult pop out from the corner, it can terrify you. Now, one night we had a group that was down in the basement. The tour guide was going over some of the stories, And the one woman turns to the other and says, "I love how polite and respectful your daughter is being." The second woman turns to the first and says, "What do you mean? I don't have a daughter." The first one says, "Okay then, whoever that young woman is that's with you is very polite and respectful." The second woman turns back and says, "You're not understanding. There's nobody around me except for you. Leave me alone." The first woman insisted, though, that for the rest of the night, there was a young girl about 15 years old following that second woman around that nobody else on the tour that lane saw. That is also where we get, where we've gotten occasionally a man in a blue suit and a white brim hat standing in Creepy Corner. Now, what's really unsettling about that is back when this was the admissions office and gift shop, down in the basement is where we would let the kids go and play while their adults were out exploring the grounds and climbing the lighthouse. Now, we had activities down there, like coloring books, toys, things like that. And there was only the staircase behind me in or out of the basement. So we were all very surprised when the kids came running upstairs saying that there was a man in a blue suit and a wide brim hat standing down in the basement watching them. We would send somebody down there and there would be nobody down there. That is also where we had our most mysterious footprint appear. Again, back in Creepy Corner, there was a footprint, an adult-sized boot print to be precise, that was pressed into the concrete. Now, that basement is completely original to the keeper's house back when it was first built in 1876, and it is actually one of the few surviving pieces of the original keeper's house. The only other surviving part of the keeper's house is the brickwork outside, because a mysterious fire in the 70s came through and destroyed much of it. So the concrete is completely original, the flooring is. So we were very surprised when the gentleman came up and said that there was a boot print pressed into the concrete that was not there the night before, or the month before, or even all the way back to when we first opened as a museum. So we sent a tour guide down there, and sure enough, there's an adult-sized boot print. Now, we have to go through the proper channels since we are a historical site, and before we could even start getting the paperwork in process, the boot print just disappeared. We do get footprints and boot prints all throughout the grounds, and the thing that is unique to the footprints that spirits leave behind is if you take your shoe off, press it on the ground, and remove your footprint will disappear in about a second or two, depending on how well ventilated the area is. But the mysterious footprint will stay there for half an hour. It can stay there really even until we open up for the next day for business. So the footprints do stay for a lot longer than the ghosts' footprints do stay for a lot longer than our footprints. And before we move on, I do want to give one word of warning to everybody. Please be careful as you all are exploring our grounds. I mentioned the spiral staircase of terror behind me. There are 219 steps in the lighthouse. The reason why I bring these up is because shortly before we closed due to the virus, we had a family that came onto our tour, and they failed to mention to us that their grandmother, who was with them, was partially blind and partially deaf. So at that time, we all went down into the basement as a group, and they let their elderly grandmother go down by herself first, and she missed the last step. She fell, she broke her arm, she shattered her glasses. It looked almost like a crime scene is the best way that I can describe it. So please keep an eye on each other. Don't let anybody do anything reckless or foolish. Please, we do not want any more accidents happening on the grounds tonight. With that being said, we are going to head upstairs. Excuse me, folks.
Let's go over here. Huh?
So it's like if you come during the day, you will see this stuff.
Right.
Augustine. The first one I will talk about a little bit later, but first I would like to talk about the construction of this lighthouse. The construction started in 1871, and the United States government knew that with the Civil War damaging or even destroying some of the lighthouses along the Atlantic coast, most of the lighthouses would either need to be repaired or replaced. So they hired a man named Hezekiah Pickey to go all along the coast and fix or replace the lighthouses. At that time, the lighthouse here in St. Augustine was only a 60-foot lighthouse that was on the edge of falling into the ocean. So Hezekiah and his construction team started construction on this lighthouse a little ways inland, and a lot taller. This one is actually 140 feet to the observation deck, 165 to the very top. Now, since Hezekiah was going all along the coast, he was able to bring his family with him, which meant his wife, Mary, and his children, Mary, Eliza, Carrie, and their only son, Edward, all went with their father all along the coast to the different sites for the lighthouses. When they came here, the construction started in 1871, and the kids quickly grew bored of playing in the ocean, climbing trees. They wanted some more excitement. So the kids, being kids, quickly took to playing on the construction equipment against their father's wishes. Hezekiah told his kids not to play on the construction equipment because it was too dangerous for kids to be playing on. However, they were kids and they did not listen, and their favorite thing to play on was actually a minecart that the construction workers had set up, and the construction workers used it to bring materials to and from the construction site and the ships that were docked over across the street. So the kids used it as a Victorian-era roller coaster. They piled it into the minecart here at the construction site. One of them would give it a little push, and they'd go sailing down to the docks where the brakes would kick in and stop them just before the water. Now, this went on for far too long, and it all came to a head one day in 1873. Edward was climbing a tree nearby when he witnessed his sisters and a playmate they had started growing accustomed to climbing into the minecart. One of them gave a little push before jumping in, and they all went sailing down to the docks, where, unfortunately, the brakes failed. All four little girls went sailing out into the ocean, where the minecart flipped upside down and pinned all of them under the water. A man named Dan Sessions was a construction worker. He ran out to where the minecart landed. He lifted up the minecart, and he saved Carrie, the youngest. By the time that he had reached the minecart, all the other girls had passed away. Dan Sessions wrote in his journals, "If only I had been a little stronger. If only I had been a little faster. I could have saved them all." Now, Hezekiah and his wife were wrought with so much guilt over losing most of their family and being responsible for the death of another child that when the construction finished here in 1874, they moved back home and they were separated by the end of the year. And as heavy and tragic as that story is, that is not the atmosphere that we have here on the grounds with us. They were young girls. The oldest, Mary, was only about 15 years old. So we have a more mischievous and playful atmosphere here on the grounds. Many of our guests, especially if they're good with children like teachers or parents, might feel a hand on their back or a tugging on their shirt like a small child is trying to get their attention. And there are a few things that the girls really love to play with. One of them, some of us have. You might have noticed that I've been keeping my feet moving since we've gotten in here. That is not a nervous twitch. Lately it's actually been increasing. I've gotten more and more reports of it. The girls will untie your shoelaces. One night, a few weeks ago, I was in this very room with my group, and a woman screamed as soon as I mentioned shoelaces, because her shoelaces had already been untied twice, and we were barely even half an hour into the tour. Now, the other thing that girls might do with your shoelaces, and it's only happened a few times, they might tie your shoelaces together. So please keep an eye on your shoelaces tonight. I would hate for anything bad to happen to any of the guests, especially as they're going up the tower. Speaking of girls in the tower, one night when we all climbed as a group, long ago, the tour guide took a few steps up, turned around to address the group over proper climbing procedure and etiquette, and the first guest was a woman that was on the tour all by herself. She was ready to climb up the tower. She lifted her foot to start climbing, and her foot caught on something. She looked down, and her shoelace had been tied to the metal railing while she had been standing there. So please remember to keep an eye on her shoelaces. She did not climb the tower that night. In fact, I believe she ran straight for the gate. Now, the other thing that the girls love to play with, all of us have, our glow sticks. Cynthia mentioned that they come off very easily, and they do. The girls will take advantage of this, and sometimes when guests are exploring the grounds, if they haven't had any activity or the girls are just feeling really silly, they might make your glow stick float up in front of you. A few times, the tour guide has been up at the top of the tower, much like I think Meg's climbing tonight. Sammy. Much like Sammy is going to be in a few minutes for you all. The tour guide was waiting up there, arms crossed, leaning over the railing, just waiting for the groups. When all of a sudden, the glow stick, string and all, just drops to the ground. They'll radio to the people at the base and let them know to be on the lookout for a loose glow stick, and probably not worry about the string since the loose string in the wind. But when we go and pick up the glow stick, the string will still be attached, and there will be a knot in the string, almost as if the girls just took the glow stick off the guide and just dropped it right in front of them. And the other thing that the girls will do is, if you leave your glow stick unattended in this room, it's actually happened a few times to somebody in my group. They'll leave their glow stick unattended, just like I am. They'll walk around the room, keeping an eye out of the corner of their eye, just to make sure nobody comes up to it and ties it up or anything like that. And then they'll grab their glow stick, start heading down the stairs outside, and then they'll try to put it on. And right in the middle of the string will be a brand new knot, so they cannot put their glow stick on. The other way that the girls will play with the glow sticks is actually started happening a lot here within the past year or so. Meg was up in this room with a group of Girl Scouts on a private tour for the Dark of the Moon, and she was talking about the Picky Girls, when all of a sudden she saw a glow stick fly across the room. Now, she didn't think anything of it. The Girl Scout was probably just twirling her glow stick. The Scoutmaster returned the glow stick to the Scout, told her not to do it again, and Meg continued. So, after a few minutes, it happened again. The glow stick flew across the room, and this time Meg returned the glow stick to the Scout. She was just about to repeat what the Scoutmaster said when she noticed that the Girl Scout was upset. The Scout said, "You have to believe me, I haven't been playing with my glow stick." So Meg felt pity for her. She was scared, she was young, she was in a dark room, and she said, "Okay, well, let's see if the activity continues." So she had the Girl Scout stand up, arms up like a T, and the rest of the troops sat in a circle around her to see if she was moving her arms. So for a few minutes, nothing happened, and then all of a sudden, the glow stick floated up and flew across the room. And they all went running out of here as fast as they could. We are going to head down to the base of the lighthouse now, if you all will follow me.
One of the things the girls do, I'll give you gas. I have to. No, so
I've been filming, just, what the hell. Right? Uh-oh. Lost my hat.
I always have to answer the same questions. And that is the lighthouse really haunted? I don't like answering in a simple yes or no because people have different definitions of what haunted means to them. So I always proceed with the same blanket statement. We've been on Ghost Hunters twice. We've also been on a YouTube series called Both Themselves. Both of them say that according to the evidence that they've gathered here from our grounds, we are haunted. Now, for those of you who have not seen those episodes, the most interesting thing to come out of them was actually the very first time that the ghost hunters were here. They put a camera in the base of the lighthouse facing upward, and they kept filming throughout the night. About 6 or 7 landings up, a few hours later, they filmed something leaning over one of the railings and quickly leaning back in. They sent a team up to investigate, and they ran as fast as they could up to the top, but the Ghost Hunters group was the ones who set off the motion sensor up at the top on that 8th landing. So we have come to refer to that spirit as our shadow figure, because it's just a black mass that you can faintly make out amongst the other shadows in the lighthouse. Now, we've had some psychics and mediums come on these tours and say, oh, the shadow figure is a conquistador for when the Spanish ruled St. Augustine, or, oh, it's a lighthouse keeper. We haven't gotten any descriptive evidence of the shadow figure, so it is just going to stay our shadow figure. Everybody who has worked on the Dark of the Moon ghost tours has had some sort of experiences in the tower. Some had more than others. I myself have only had about 2 or 3, and others are more lucky. I had a coworker who, every time the lights were on inside the tower, whenever she would look up somewhere in the lighthouse, she would, in one of the windows, she would always see the shadow figure staring back at her. Meg was climbing down the tower one night, and she was all alone, and she felt the staircase violently shaking, even though she was the only one in the tower. Jack, our newest addition to the Dark of the Moon crew, has actually had a couple of encounters as well. I would say probably his most unsettling one was when he was climbing down the tower. The only person in the tower besides him was the one who was up at the very top, which was Meg that night. But he was down a few steps, and he heard footsteps following behind him. So we've all had some sort of experience inside the tower. Mine was actually a few months before I started here, or a few months after I started here. I was up at the top. I was waiting just like Sammy will be in a few moments for you all. I had unlocked the door onto the observation deck. I stepped out. I was loving the nice ocean breeze at this time of the night. And I looked over to my left. And when I looked over, I saw what I can only describe as the train of a long white dress coming from around the other side of the tower. I went into the lighthouse to get a drink of water. When I stepped back out, it was gone. And then a few weeks later, I was climbing up the tower. I didn't open any of the windows. I was miserable in there. And when it was time to come back down, I was the last one. All the windows were still shut because I was stupid. It was the middle of July. And about 2 or 3 flights of stairs from the top, I walk into a cold spot. Now, I didn't think anything of it, and I just continued on down. But I can only describe it as you're walking through what feels like a hot, muggy atmosphere, and then all of a sudden you walk into a meat locker. That is the best way that I can really describe it to you. And when I got to the very bottom, about right where he is at the base, there was another group completely on the ground, and they turned to me and said, "Do you feel a cold spot about 2 or 3 flights of stairs from the top?" Yes. Were there any windows open? No. Was there any holes or drafts at the lighthouse? No. So I've actually been a part of a group experience with a cold spot. So that is why we ask that you please be quiet and courteous as you're exploring the grounds tonight, because the spirits are a lot more appreciative, and they will have more of an interaction with you if you remember to keep your voices just above a whisper. We're going to head to the front lawn now. Hope you all remembered your bug spray.
Nope. Negative.
Negative, Captain. Okay, creepy level just went up a bit.
I kind of smelled the haunted mansion in here.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
You wanna?
Alright, let's do it.
Oh man.
It's kind of weird because, like, nobody else is doing this.
Oh dude, this is... Okay.
It's not like, it's not like it's dungeon or anything. And there's sunlight.
Yeah, but look straight ahead. That looks effing creepy, dude.
The only reason I'm not that scared is because this is an organized tour.
Yeah, but it's just us down here right now. Oh my god. I know, I saw that.
Hello?
Oh yeah, didn't they say there were some chairs here?
Yeah.
She was. Wow, this wood is weird. Is anyone down here?
Oh god, that.
Oh,
That figure scared me. Oops, my bad. Gotta keep my place down.
I'm sorry, I get a butt talk.
huh? Oh, no snap. Heck yeah. Oh, what's this? Damn. Can I get your light?
We should sit in those chairs.
Hmm?
We should sit in those chairs.
Okay. We could come back to it.
Sure.
Hold on, there's someone coming down. Where's the creepy corner? Is this the creepy corner?
I think that exists, yeah. Seems like a footprint here. Yeah, I think that's what
Is why they rather downsize it.
What's going on in this building?
There'll be one over here.
Go ahead. This.
I can increase the light if it helps.
Oh, that's good. Oh my god.
Too bright.
Yeah, too much. Too much.
Yeah, there's no flash.
Dude, this room in here feels kind of creepy. Dude, we should totally sit in those chairs in the dark. You want to try upstairs, maybe? Are you checking the reader, too?
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't matter anything.
That's the problem.
Here, check this out. Sure. out back that way. Hold on. It was so much cooler when we were the first ones down there.
Yeah, as soon as everyone else came down, it was like, oh man.
Oop.
I do want to give like 20 minutes ish there.
Let's go up there first.
Yeah.
Going upstairs now.
Pretty cool that you
Check my shoelaces. Spooky cough. Okay, we're in here alone now. I just heard something over here.
Hello?
Let's go over here.
Is there someone there?
Looks
If
like
you're here, you can say hi. You're not scared.
hey, let's sit down. Wow, this does not feel stable. Yeah.
Hello? If you're here, send a signal. Or respond in some way. Actually, if you're here, do nothing. If you're here, I believe you. There's gotta be a camera somewhere watching us. You know?
Maybe.
Gotta be. I don't know how they let us unsupervised into here. It could be downstairs too.
Exciting.
Yeah. That's like what you see at the car lot. Oh my god, the ghost is me.
someone in here.
If you're there, we just want to say hi.
Do you want to play?
I don't have shoelaces, sorry.
I do.
Still there.
Still good. Whoa, God! Fucker. Oh my God.
Maybe we should leave now.
Okay. Oh, at least that was on camera. Okay. Thank you. All right. We're going into the lighthouse now. There's where they make the beer. All right. I think I'll turn this back on when I'm... A little bit.
Oh, well, that must be difference. Oh, they don't want bright lights.
Oh yeah, they don't want flash in here. Because it has that strobe effect.
We got the bridges. I can see the other lighthouse.
Mm-hmm.
I think I see the other lighthouse. One tower's
Over there.
Yeah. It is.
Oh boy.
9:06. Which way did they say the trail was?
The guy's like right there.
Oh.
You want to ask him?
Yeah, hold on. We gotta go that way. Then we won't get out.
Let me get to
The nature trails are just on the other side of that brick wall there. That's the closest entrance.
Is there bathrooms over there?
The bathrooms are going to be up those, that one stairs to your right, that building with the lights.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. That
Hold us.
was a hell of a leg workout.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, I was more afraid of the climbing and the descending than I was anything else. Is it? Ooh. Keeper's Garden, I guess this is the way.
Crazy.
This is twice we got to do nighttime nature trails.
I'm guessing it just leads.
We're gonna find out.
Yeah. I'm guessing it just leads back to where we just came from.
It's kind of wild.
Yeah. Can't believe they let you actually do this. It's kind of crazy.
Ooh.
Check out the lighthouse to the tree.
Huh?
The lighthouse to the tree.
Oh, wow.
Well, this is, well, I guess we just have the lighthouse there.
Alright.
Which way?
I guess this way.
This way?
Yeah. This is wild.
Yeah, dude.
It looks like that part in Harry Potter.
Wow. If we like weren't supposed to be here right now, I'd be so creeped out.
Oh, I know.
Okay, so this probably goes back to that other loop. Smells like flowers. Oh, cool. We're coming out over here.
Okay. Did a sweet little nighttime nature trail.
Yeah. I don't. Those are the charms.
The promiscuously dressed sister over there in the chair. Peter didn't fall apart.
Just flip on the light switches.
Yeah, they are really.
Here, put your light on. want to see if that rocking chair is moving?
Yeah, I guess we check that out.
I think it was on like the front porch.
It smells like haunted mansion. Doesn't it?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Let's see your rocking chair.
I think it's on the front porch, they said. God damn it. People opening doors on me.
Yeah, I guess if there's a rocking chair, it's not inside.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's just stuff.
I think we gotta go down and around maybe.
Is it on the side?
Yeah. I'm getting a lot of jump scares tonight.
We did. Oh, I guess we didn't go on the second balcony. Up there. Maybe we should check out the dock or the old one also.
Yeah.
Alright. I think I could. Where do we drop this off? That cafe?
The thing with the garage door open.
Okay.
Want to know what else is spooky?
What?
Oh, sweet, I was recording. Are we the only ones in here? Is there more than 2 people in here?
Are there more than 2 people?
Are there more than 2 people?
We just want proof that you exist. And nothing else. Well, that depends. Hello? I think people are coming out.
I better fart now.
I think the last place we haven't gone is here. Let's go.
Okay.
I'm ready to go.
No.
Alright, last chance. Let me get to go. Is there anyone here?
Are there any spookies in here? Are you friendly?
Are you looking to untie our shoes?
You want to play with my glow stick?
Yeah. Can you make this fly? Negative. Alright.
Okay, last chance.
And then we have to leave.
Hold on. of the little girls probably were just like creeping up behind me, and I like totally pooped in her face.
I'm very sorry about that.
Sorry for the pink eye.
If they're actually... Okay. Oh my god, everyone's gone.
Sweet.
How do they know who's